equitable outcomes?
I don't have my cello on stage, so to go after a performer, I'm like, man, here we go. Okay. I'm really going to give hopefully a few tangible examples, but really within the context of breaking the fourth wall, or maybe a better way of stating it, redefining what breaking the fourth wall is. So I think we talk a lot about what art happens on stage, but really how it interacts in the communities in which we reside. So I'm the president and CEO for Chicago Sinfonietta Orchestra. Its mission is championing equity, diversity, inclusion, and belonging by creating community through both symphonic experiences. As a cultural institution, we really feel like we have a direct role in using, or I guess presenting art for art's sake without defense, but also having art be a very effective tool at addressing the social determinants of health. And so a good example of that is our pay what you can ticketing model. So Chicago Sinfonietta, essentially at its core with this pay what you can, it basically says we want to promote accessibility by making sure we address economic inequities. And so this program started in Chicago, but is now used nationally. So you can use this in California, they use it in Texas, they use it in New York, and it eliminates economic segmentation between those who go to the concert hall and who don't, but also eliminates economic segmentation within the concert hall itself. So whether you spent $200 or $2 in a concert hall, you don't know. And there's been a couple of learned outcomes from this. One is this idea of, I think we have a lot of assumptions of who would use the program. One of the largest populations who use the program are households who have kinship care. So there's a very large population that keeps growing in our country of grandparents raising grandchildren, but a lot of them have fixed income. And they want to expose their dependents to arts and culture. They want to have them exposed to community. And things like the pay what you can ticketing model actually allows that. Another just takeaway that has been really interesting as I look at our concert hall, but also other orchestras around the country who have adopted it, is it allows us to reduce the barrier of entry, not just for individuals to enjoy the art form, but also it reduces the barrier of entry for us to actually present our strongest value proposition statement. And what I mean by that is they come into the concert hall, but they actually get to see, yes, we are providing arts for art's sake, but we are also doing things in the community that address social determinants of health and quality of life for everyone. So they get to learn about our education programs. They get to learn about our historically Black colleges and university tours. They get to learn about, just in firsthand experience, what community and fellowship actually looks like. And so one of the most defining moments I've had with this particular work is during my tenure in Louisville. Louisville has a CEO Health Council. Louisville is one of the largest concentrations of aging healthcare headquarter operations, and they were crazy enough and maybe innovative enough to invite someone like me at the table and say, what can we do that's better? And one of the outcomes of this was creative aging, this idea of lifelong learning does not need to be siloed, and by marrying healthcare with creative industries, is created creative aging and redefining the workforce. And then bringing it back to Chicago as another example, I have the privilege of serving as the chairman for the Department of Cultural Affairs and Special Events, Cultural Advisory Council for the City of Chicago, long title I know. And one of our programs that we released in the 2023 report is a partnership between the Chicago Department of Cultural Affairs and Special Events, the Chicago Department of Public Health, and also the sister the colleges, city colleges of Chicago. And essentially what this is the Chicago Arts and Health program for creative workers, this idea of expanding what it means to have a viable career in creative industries by actually training and employing them in healthcare as well. And so I think hopefully there's maybe three tangibles to the question, but also I think in alignment with so much of you guys were talking about in the summit in January, this idea of how does art for art's sake, again, with no defense, but also how does it lead to more equitable outcomes in community?
Thank you so much. Christy, over to you.